Let me first congratulate you on your success in SSB, a long-awaited success, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm really thankful to you.
My- that's okay. But it was coming, if not earlier, then bolte hain, der aaye durust aaye, so that is okay. So
Yes, sir.
it's been a long-awaited success, right? So fifth attempt, you
Right,
said,
sir.
huh?
Yes, sir. It was my fifth and final attempt.
Fifth and final. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So, how's been the experience? Overall, if you see that, firstly, if you can just run through what all attempts have you made? How did you get interested in joining Air Force? Uh, Briefly,
Um,
and thereafter, what all attempts you have made, what kind of preparations and things like that.
so, sir, I wanted to join the Indian Armed Forces because I got inspired from one of our family friends who was already serving in the Air Force only.
Okay.
And I was initially inspired by the respect and the morals and values that a person holds when he's in the uniform, when he's serving for the nation. That was my initial inclination, the uniform, and then understanding like what it entails to be an officer in the forces and what responsibilities one holds and the lifestyle that one leads is something I thought that I can also achieve if I work towards it.
Okay. So, how did you go about preparing for this?
So I was initially preparing through YouTube videos and through books, through experiences of other people. And the one that I told that one of our family friend, he was also serving in the forces, so he was helping me out.
Okay.
The procedure was clear through YouTube videos and the books. And I think what changed me after meeting you was my self confidence that I have increased, and like the videos that you have made the to discover yourself. That was the main. I think those were the videos that enabled me to know what all I have achieved in life and how should I represent it. SSB is more about your experiences and life achievements that were made, be it failures only.
Mhm.
What you have learned from it is what I think has improved me in this SSB. What was different from the previous attempts, and also the fact that I did not go to the SSB with a preconceived mind this time. I was absolutely honest and very like confident in whatever is going to be asked. I'm going to answer.
Why was this not happening earlier? Being honest, right? So I just want to draw some kind of a lesson for others, where when
Um,
YouTube you have a lot of videos, and like
right,
I've
sir.
been saying that the person who is making these videos, of course, the intent must be good, absolutely fine, but sometimes
Right, sir.
it perhaps doesn't apply to you as a person. So
Right, sir.
you try and emulate something which you have seen in the video, and thereafter perhaps you find that no, it's not clicking for you. So
Right, sir.
something
So,
like
sir, when we go through the YouTube videos, we also go through the interviews of
Mhm.
the candidates, and we make a preconceived notion that these are the questions that we are going to be asked,
Okay,
and this was the answer the recommended candidate gave.
all
It
right,
might be true and beneficial for that candidate, but it might not be who you are in general.
absolutely.
So I believe that if you come out with your own experiences, with your own answers, it is better to be there.
Okay, and so how was the interview? I'm sure, no, like you said, no, you were pretty confident, and you were being yourself. So the
Yes,
same
sir.
kind of thought process, did it help you somewhere in your psych test and GT as well?
Yes, sir. So the psych test was more about like you just see the picture and you put up a story. You be
Okay.
specific to the picture. So I believe that if you do not go well prepared about the psych and the VAT, it is better there.
So what do
So
you
you
mean by
just
if
see.
you do not go well prepared for the psych? That means
So
you go prepared with certain stories, some kind of templates.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So that's what I just want to know. The aim of talking to you and bringing it, in front of others is just to make people realize that no, it's these things, the templates and things like that. They're okay as a guidance, but it shouldn't be taken too much. Cannot be applied to you directly. So you have to have
Yes,
your
sir.
own, stories to tell. Yeah, own stories,
Yes,
and
sir.
not
We
that
we
heard
we
story.
read stories online. Yes, sir. So we read stories online, and then we see that this one is a good story, and then we try to fit in the story there with the picture. So
Absolutely.
that trying to fit in is something that I think does not work.
Okay. So, now you've been associated with me. I think we've had a number of interactions. I do not know whether, five, six, or whatever it is. Plus, of
Yes,
course,
sir.
some of the videos that you would have seen, those discover and develop yourself.
Yes, sir.
So, how what did
So
you
one thing that
invite?
I would say is
Hmm.
that before my SSB, the day before, I went through all your videos once again, just before going for
All
my
right.
SSB. That was the only preparation that I did for the last 2 days,
Hmm, 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 hmm.
and one interactive session with you that I had over the call. That was it. I did not practice any written story or VAT this time. I was into reading. I read books, and I think that helps. That also helps.
Definitely. I mean, what I recall from interactions with you is that you have got a taste for reading. You tend to read a lot of things, so that also enhances or enlarges your ideas. You get more
Yes, sir.
ideas when you read more. You learn
Hmm.
more, and you
Yes,
those
sir.
things also somehow find a way into your stories, whether it is
Yes,
your
sir. It also benefits in the lecture also. When you are into
absolutely.
reading, you get
Absolutely.
more ideas to say,
Yeah.
speak about.
So and now just let's run through the the stage one and then stage two exactly. If you can just very briefly mention about this stage one,
Yes, sir.
how many
So,
candidates reported and things like that.
around 270 candidates reported on first day,
Okay,
and we were divided into freshers, screen out, and repeaters.
okay,
And we had to wait for the freshers first. They would do their PPTT, and then the screen out will do. So it was a long day. The first day was very long, and 63 of us got screened in,
okay.
and we were also given our packed lunches. So it wasn't in the mess. We were given
Yeah,
packed
because
tiffins.
otherwise, you when you go and sit in the mess on the table and all, it takes much longer time. So, and that
Right.
much
So
of time is not available. So that is usually the practice which is followed in the boards, particularly when you have large crowd. Yeah.
yes, sir. So 63 of us got screened in, and it was around 6 p.m. in the evening when we were given allotted our rooms,
Okay.
and we were instructed that we'll have a briefing at 8 a.m. at 8 p.m.
Okay.
And our psych test, which was previously at Dehradun, it happened on the same day. It did not happen. It was scheduled for the next day.
Okay.
So next morning we had to come with our folders for the ones that we had to submit for our interview, for our psych test. We submitted our folders. They sanitized it for our interview, and it was already there with our interviewing officers.
So site test,
So
and you had the interview in this on the same day, day
no,
one
sir.
itself.
The next day,
All right.
third day.
So basically, all those basically for the purpose of sanitization, this
Right, sir.
must have been done because otherwise, normally you carry these folders, with you
We
when
carry the folders in the waiting room. Yes, sir.
right.
So psych test was usual, without any break. We did all the tests, and once the psych test was over, we were we moved back to our rooms. We were not allowed to interact in another room as well, and social distancing. And we were instructed to wear our mask, face shield, and
Okay.
carry a bottle and sanitizer every time.
All right. All right. These
Yes.
are the certain
So
changes that have come about after this COVID
the
testing.
new normal. Yes, sir.
And
And
GT and
Uh,
okay, let's
GTO
talk
was on
about
the
GT.
fourth day.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Third day after the psych test, the next day was my interview, and my interview was with the deputy president of the board, and
So how was
it
the
was very
interview?
interactive, sir.
Okay. So
Uh,
any highlights
so
of the interview?
Yes, sir. One thing that I would definitely want to say is that you need not be like bluffing around things there. So if
Mm-hmm.
you know one thing, you just say yes, I know it, and if you don't know it, you just say I'm sorry, sir, I don't know. So it was like for 7, 8 questions. I really remember like for 7, 8 questions, it was around static GK, world geography, that I wasn't able to answer.
Okay.
So I would say I'm sorry, sir, I don't know. So when I was asked why don't I know about this, so then I told him that I'm not interested in these particular countries. My interest lies in countries that are neighboring to India. So when I was asked about those countries, I was able to answer.
That is where, I've been saying that your area of interest. So if you are good in your area of interest, your knowledge is deep enough, then
Right,
that
sir.
you at least score that. No, then obviously you cannot know everything about every other topic, right? But at least
Right, sir.
those topics where you are interested, if you know well, yeah, it definitely helps. Okay,
Right, sir.
so that's good. So that
Then
yeah.
about my personal interview, it was a bit different from my previous interviews. Here, sir asked me to play a role play.
Mhm.
So he would ask me that now let's bring your father here and let me have a conversation with him. I'll get to know about him, about you from him. So it
Okay.
was more like a role play. So he asked, I had to be my father, I was my mother, and then I was my best friend also.
All right. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And things was like be very honest with whatever it is, because it it is not that a particular kind of person is required for the forces. If you're truthful and you're honest, that is another quality that I think is appreciated for the forces.
Yes, definitely. So that's what we've been saying. That one should be able to have trust on you. False
Yes, sir.
runs on
And
trust.
so your
It should
videos,
be. Hmm.
more of the interview was basically on your videos, your life achievements, your failures in life, challenges, fates. It was just like that, sir. What have you achieved? Why do you think it was a failure? And what have you learned from it? Then achievement. Why do you think you were able to achieve it? And things like that. So it was I was like feeling that I'm speaking to you there in my interview.
All right. All right. So that's good. That's good. So that's what I'm saying. This being yourself, and of course, being the better part of yourself. The best
Right, sir.
version of yourself, that helps. And yeah, GT. Any highlights on GT?
So GTO was my same. I think I performed same. The thing that I've improved was on my lecture rate, and also during group discussion, I was able to give in points with examples. Like when you read, then you come up with examples. Uh, and I was able to state about Abdul Kalam ji and about ISRO. I was able to state I was able to recall all those things that I have read before in my GD. And the I think for the progressive group task and the command task, what matters is how well you are initiating things there. You are applying your knowledge. So you cannot only be just leap into the field and you have no idea about what to do. So it is also, I would advise that you should be at the back, analyze the situation, then move forward,
So think
rather
before
than
you
just
leap.
picking up the plank and just going into the field.
So think before you leap. That's what they say.
Right, sir.
Hmm.
Right, sir.
Okay. Right. And
And for my command task, I was called twice. And yes, sir, I was able to do better in my IO this time. I usually did six obstacles. I was able to do eight this time.
okay, well, you've been practicing a lot of running and all this time.
Right? Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Stamina building, as you have said. God, cycling, playing badminton.
That's it. So I think that's more or less anything, any task in PGT, HGT, or something where you got stuck, or in your command task, you got stuck, or then
No, sir.
thereafter what happened? Anything like that?
Uh,
Or
no, sir. I did not. Right, sir. There was a situation when I was called for the command task, and the commander, she wasn't able to implement an idea. So she asked me to give an idea. So I gave the idea that time.
okay, all right. And how about the PGT and all? So PGT, you find that there are some candidates who perhaps can't make much head or tail of it in the beginning, in the first task.
Right, sir.
Hmm.
So as soon as sir said you can start, so what people usually do, what even I used to do, is pick up the plank and just move forward. Just jump into it, and then you are blank because you don't know where to fit in what. Sometimes you need to just be at the back, analyze the situation, see what is required. You need require the plank or the bully, whatever is required. Then you either give instructions or you yourself go in. Just don't jump into it. The PGT initiative is important. I'm sure it is very important, but it is also important to analyze the situation first and then move ahead.
Okay. So that is that's I think more or less about it. An excellent, I would say, performance from your side this time, and how the
Thank you, sir.
parents feeling happy about it.
Very happy, sir.
Hmm.
My when I called them, they were like, "Are you sure it was your chest number only?" I was like, "Yes, I made it." Then I texted you also at that moment. You were among the first people I texted, sir.
So that's congratulations once again, Ishita. And
Thank you, sir.
I hope you have your.
Also, sir, the waiting period of my before my conference was also long. I don't exactly remember how long, but
Mhm.
it was quite a time.
So that's wherever the candidate is being discussed, at length, or there is some query areas, and that gets resolved during this discussion before the conference. So
Right,
that's
sir.
also an indication that you are in the reckoning, definitely. Now,
Right, sir.
finally, it is when the duty officer comes and he gives you the results, calls out the chest numbers. So that is when you get to know whether that was worth it or not. Of course, it is worth it
Yes,
all
sir.
the time, but then yes, sometimes a lot of people make it. It's very close shave for them. They've been discussed, and
Right, sir.
somehow after the conference, the board decides not to recommend the candidate. So that's okay.
Yes, sir.
It might have happened with you maybe earlier sometime. It happened earlier time. Uh,
Yes, sir. During my
Waiting
conference,
for.
I was asked questions on my psychology, I think,
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay.
or about friends and how would I deal with my friends, like such questions. But this time I wasn't, sir. Only three basic questions were asked. What was your highlight of the SSB?
Hmm, hmm.
How was your stay? And any suggestions?
Okay.
So that was it.
Chalo, that's good. Ishita, thank you very much. I'm sure
Thank you, sir.
your experience would also help some of the others candidates who are going for SSB.
Right, sir.
So wishing you all the best once again, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Chalo, bye. Bye.
Bye, sir.